Joining us now on the Buyers Barricade guest line, courtesy of AA Best Bail Bonds, is the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, Coach Mike McCarthy. Good morning, Coach. How are you, sir?
Good morning. I'm doing well. Thank you.
Did you get a chance to watch your division rivals facing off on Thursday Night Football last night, or do you not subscribe to Amazon Prime?
No, I actually did not get to watch it. Just had a late night here, but yeah, I'll definitely get a chance to catch up on it. We'll actually start working on Washington on Sunday.
But you do have Prime, right?
Yeah,
because we have a producer who doesn't even have Netflix, and I don't know how he's surviving life. But you have access to Amazon Prime if you wanted it, right?
Definitely. I have 5 children, so
yeah. Okay, so you're a normal person, unlike Edwin.
Yeah, you'll be paying that Netflix bill for the next 30 years. By the way, that's never going away. I know it's Thursday in your world. What's a typical Thursday for you guys? Normally catch you on Friday morning, and you've got a whole other schedule. So what's your day like today?
Well, I'll tell you, I did the Monday night schedule different this week, just because we got we're going 8 days, 6 days and 4 days. So we got the stretch of the 3 games in 10 days. So I wanted to keep all the heavy lifting earlier in the week as much as I could, and do the lighter practices at the end of the week. Not as much, what was best for the practice, practice segments going into Monday night, but really trying to, factor in the stress for what's coming after it. So we're actually on a normal Friday today to answer the question.
So normally when you've got a run like this where you guys are playing 10 or 3 games in 10 days, you look at that as a big time negative. You have to change your routine or something like that. But with you guys, with the struggles that you guys are having, maybe a routine change isn't the worst possible thing. Can you look at this as in a positive light and say, you know what, this gives us a chance to maybe try some new things, try a new schedule, see if we can find some long-term changes here?
I'm definitely for it. I'm all for it if you think it's going to work. But no, I think like anything. I know we've talked about this in the past. You look forward to getting on a 7-day routine earlier in the year, but it's just it's part of playing for the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, this is these are the schedules you're always going to have. So I mean, really, my focus has always been how can I do it better. And and frankly, the healthier football team plays into this a lot of this too. So you don't just have one schedule for an 8-day week or a 7-day week or a 6-day week or a 4-day week. You have adjustments within those plans because the health of the team and how you want to practice too is affected by that. So
did your alteration of the schedule, the way you've done it in the past, did that reflect that massive injury report that you're dealing with? Did you alter that because you saw that coming, or was this just the plan ahead of time?
Well, this was the plan ahead of time, and frankly, I think it definitely ties into the injuries. So I think the fact that we can get our heavy lifted done, like really, yesterday's Thursday padded practice, that'll probably be the final, what I term as a full padded practice where you're able to go max reps without any interference. So we actually pushed through it yesterday, and I thought the guys did a good job of that. Because there's young player development that's built into these padded practices. It's not just getting ready for the game. When you only have so many padded practices a year, you have to, in my opinion, it's the way I've always done it, is you have to have segments in there to continue to develop your young players, especially your young offensive linemen. So, because you got to start cutting back after Thanksgiving.
The truth with all that. Now you talk about developing your young offensive linemen. You've got a different quarterback room now. How do you address the different quarterbacks, the different packages, and all of that in this short week?
Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, this is the long week, but I think the bigger challenge will be, the next 2 weeks. But yeah, and that's where, extra walkthroughs, we have young guy meetings, our team meetings at 8:00, but our young players are here at 7. So the quarterbacks actually.
But you don't work that hard, Coach.
Say again?
You don't work that hard, I've been told.
Oh, really?
No, that's what I've been hearing. I don't know.
That's internet sound bites.
That's just trash.
Oh my God! I could tell my family that.
Yeah. Coach, when you do have the offensive line, the young offensive line that you guys have, and we saw last week Cooper was under a good bit of pressure, even though he did only get sacked once. Do you start to think about, like, man, if we can't protect our quarterback a little more, we might have to go to this more mobile option in Trey Lance, knowing that you have a guy like that on the sideline?
Well, I think like anything. I mean, you're trying to have a balanced attack each and every week, and I think you make a an interesting point. But how many times can you really run your quarterback too? So I think you got to be smart there also. But yeah, the biggest thing for us is frankly we got to take care of the football. We got to make sure we're kicking after at the end of every series. And punting is okay. Play field position and things like that. I mean that's the game we have to play. We have to go the long way, and we got to grind these things out. So we got to take care of the football because regardless if it's who the quarterback is, it's going to be a hard day.
Speaking of sacks, on the positive, I know it was probably hard to take many positives out of last week, but you guys did get after Jalen Hurts a little bit. 5 sacks, you cost him 46 yards with that. What'd you guys do differently rushing the passer, and is that something that can carry over going forward?
Well, I think the biggest thing is, getting it into those down and distances. For us defensively, stopping the run, winning the first and second down, or mainly winning first down. It definitely gives us more opportunities. But yeah, I thought our pressure packages were excellent, especially in the first half, because we had 5, but we still had 2 where we were right there. So we definitely want to build off of that.
It's crazy how that balance plays into the defense there. It was an impressive first half, and impressive. DeMarvin Overshown, tell us how his role has changed as the season's gone on due to the injuries and all that, because he's really, it appears at least to my eyes, really blossoming. You've got something there.
Oh, definitely, no, without a doubt. I mean, you could always see it. It just, the young man just needed to get past that, that knee injury, and he's doing something each and every week that you just love. So just trying to create more opportunities for him. He had some rushes, from the edge last week, and but yeah, I think he's just getting better and better each week.
You guys preparing to take on the Houston Texans on Monday Night Football, and I'm sure you've dug into the film from their last game, which was really a tale of two halves, maybe one of the most impressive halves of the season we've seen played against a team that's just been a juggernaut in the Lions. The Texans absolutely owned them early in that game and then completely melted in the second half. When you see a game film like that where they look fantastic and then they look dreadful in the same game, how do you weigh out those two halves, and do you just try and say, okay, here's what they were doing well early, how can we combat that? Here's what they were doing poorly, how can we take advantage of that? Or how do you read film like that?
Well, to me, that's under the category of the ebb and flow of the football game. There's momentum swings in every game. How you respond to them, especially being in tune which side of the swing you're on. And some are more drastic than others, and you just got to make sure you're overcoming it. But ebb and flow is really something that we teach and talk all the time. We try to institute it the best we can within our training regiments, how we practice, pace of operation, all those things. And I think it's just a great example of how competitive this league is. When you see those games and the energy and the swings and the momentum swings, and then one team fights back, and that's just what makes our game so great.
The greatness of the game is always about the next man up. We talked about your long list of injuries. Are we getting to the point where some of these guys, you've already lost your quarterback, you're looking at maybe shutting them down? What's the story with Deron Bland?
He's just he's still in the he's kind of stuck at this point that he's in right now. So he just got to trust the rehab process, and he just has not got through the return to play segment. So he had a good day yesterday. I'm curious to hear what the report is today. But yeah, right now he still hasn't made it to the practice film.
You guys have, it's been talked about a lot. You struggled to run the football this year, and at least last week, the Texans struggled to run the football as well. Joe Mixon 1.8 yards per carry on 25 carries. So he's been pretty good all season. Was there anything that Detroit did that you guys can replicate to slow down that Texans attack and maybe keep time of possession close to even, which has been a struggle for you guys this year?
Yeah, definitely. I think like each and every week you look at the matchups and so forth, but it's definitely a focus for us, because their ability to spread it out, throwing the ball, but also the action pass game, comes off of their run game too. So we definitely we got to stay committed to stopping the run.
On your offensive side of the ball, Jonathan Mingo, tell us about him and what can we expect from him in the near and far future?
It's been great having him here. He's been working hard. So, hopefully we can get him up this week. So we'll just continue to go through the process, but he's picked it up quickly. I'm impressed with his work ethic, and I'm glad he's here.
I guess, Coach, you found out this week that, and this may be news to you, that if you don't work for the Cowboys next year, you can literally have any job you want. You can be anywhere you want. Were you aware that you were at that level, that any job you want in the world could be yours?
I'm focused on beating the Houston Texans. I'm committed to this.
I think that's a good
Fair
outlook. That's head coach Mike McCarthy. Hey, Coach, good luck on Monday. I know this is a good chance for you guys to build some positive momentum in a tough season. But this is a game where you guys, you're facing another team that's not exactly firing on all cylinders right now as well. Maybe a good chance to get back in the win column. Coach, best of luck this Monday, and we'll talk to you next week.
All right. Thank you, man.